Okay, good morning everyone. It's the moment you've all been waiting for. So now yeshiva's over. And don't think this is just for Bochrim, because if yeshiva's over for Bochrim and the Bochrim have vacation, al achas kama v'kama, the parents have vacation. Because now, especially if they go to camp, you don't have to wake them up in the morning, you don't have to, less carpools. So now the summer starts and it's Bein Hazmanim. So we're going to learn the 7 ingredients for Bochrim to have a successful Bein Hazmanim. Because the Bochrim love these Shiurim. Okay? These are 7 very important ingredients. You need to listen carefully. You need to write it down. You need to remember it and think about it the whole summer. Number 1, the first important ingredient is you have to stay alive. Okay? You need to survive Bein Hazmanim. That's very important. Staying alive. Which means don't do anything dangerous. If you're not sure if you're too close to the fire, then you're too close to the fire. Step back. If you're not sure if you should get into the car with this 17-year-old guy who the only thing he knows how to drive is a bumper car, don't get in the car with him. If you're not sure if the guy who is about to drive, maybe he had a little bit too much, I don't know what, last night, he looks a little tipsy, he looks a little turvy, say, adios amigo, have a good day, stay away from him. So make sure whoever's driving the car knows how to drive. Make sure you put on your seatbelt. There's a terrible story in Lakewood of a guy sitting in the second row of the car. He went right through the dashboard and so the most important thing you need to do Bein Hazmanim is you need to stay safe. V'chai bohem. It's not a small thing, it's a very important mitzvah. Every time you put on your seatbelt, be mechavein to be mekayim the mitzvah, v'nishmartem ma'oy l'nafshei seichem. Part of staying safe is, if you're at a Friday night oineg, and the guy next to you, he looks like he's about to fill up the cup too much, don't say, it's just a little bit extra. No, you could permanently damage your liver. Don't go near it. Stay away from the guy. Just because this guy is out of his mind, and he wants to risk his life to show everybody else how cool he is, good for him. He wants to take his own life. Then the guy next to you, he wants to experiment with a cigarette. Don't just walk away. The guy next to you, he wants to experiment with a vape. He's stupid. He's stupid. Stay away from him. Don't put any harmful substances into your lungs or into your body. Dr. Fuchs, you agree with this? We have an endorsement by the leading doctor here in the neighborhood. He also agrees. It's very important to stay away from harmful behavior. Okay, that's the first thing. Yeah? You mask him? Okay, mask him. Number 2. So it's Bein Hazmanim. You want to have a good upcoming Zman. You want your Elul Zman to be strong. Don't be lazy in the summer. First of all, you need to exercise. Don't say, nah, who needs it? You need to exercise. You'll learn better in the upcoming Zman. You'll think better. You'll be more matzliach in your learning. It'll open up your mind. You'll oxygenate your blood. It'll get all the cells going. And the other, so that's, you want to make sure, A, you're alive, B, that you're healthy. So it's very important. And not only for Bochrim, for everybody. You want to daven good, you want to learn good, you have to be healthy. Number 3, this is very important for Bochrim. Some Bochrim think that they don't need to go to sleep. They don't need to go to sleep. Sleep was only given for adults. But here's the thing. If you're going to cut back on your sleep, you're going to sleep 5 hours a night, then you're going to lower your immunity. You're going to come back, you're going to have a raspy voice, you're going to lose your voice. And that's just what you see on the outside. You lower your immunity, and you're not going to be able to learn well. So this guy, all of a sudden at 12 o'clock at night, he decides he's going to start philosophizing about his hashkafa. The guy's out of his mind. Why are you listening to him? You have Rabbeim in yeshiva. Tell the guy, pal, stop talking. I'm going to go to sleep now. Don't even try one time going to sleep at 2 a.m. You're going to ruin the rest of the week. It could adversely affect your health. and it could affect your zman. So it's bittul Torah, it's bittul zman, it's you're ruining your health, it's self-destructive behavior. That's all. Right, you're masking? Yeah, of course. Okay, so those are the hakdamas. Number one, you want to stay alive. Number two, let's call number two, you need to sleep, because if you don't sleep, you're not going to be functioning in the summer and the upcoming zman. And number three, you need exercise, a little exercise. Okay. Number four. Number four is like this. If you look in Masechta Yivamis, or you look in Masechta Nedarim, these are Lamdasha Masechtas. These Masechtas talk about some of the most complex topics. Asay doy holiest asay, Yibum, Tsaras Erva, Chayve Lavin, Chayve Asay. And yet, Masechta Yivamis begins explaining the order of the 15 arayos in the Mishnah. Bitay, Bas Benoi. That's how we start the Masechta, on this, hyper-technical subject about the order of the Mishnah. So Rav David Leibowitz would say, from here we see, Derech Eretz Kadma L'Torah, that before you could learn the Lamdas, you have to be organized. You have to be organized. First get the order. After you're organized, then you could get into the Lamdas. So during the rest of the year, sometimes Yeshiva Bochrim, they don't have time to be organized. So let's say their stuff is strewn about on top of their bed, under their bed, all over the room. They leave one shoe in one place, one shoe in another place. They don't screw on the toothpaste because they don't have time. They mamish are learning every spare minute. But in the summer, which is going to be the hakdam of the upcoming zman, first you have to establish seder. So something to think about and something to work on in the summer is when you're in camp, make sure all your shirts are piled neatly. And then make sure all your pants are piled neatly. And then make sure your shoes are organized in order. Make sure all your personal items are in order. You say, well, what's bittul Torah? Why should I make sure everything's in order? The answer is, before you could learn, you got to be organized. We learned this from Masechta Yivamis. We learned this from Masechta Nedarim. You know another place where we learn this? Before Hashem gives us the Torah on Shavuos, He gives us another Yom Tov. He gives us the Yom Tov of Pesach. What do we do the night of the Seder? What is it called? What is Pesach night called? Seder. Seder. And what do? We have a whole list, a very organized list of what we're going to do this night. So the first Yom Tov of the year is Seder. After you have Seder, then you could go on to Kabbalas HaTorah. So the same thing, the Hashgacha has it. First we have the summer, and in the summer you could work on your Seder. You could write down on a piece of paper what your schedule is going to be in the upcoming Zman, what time you're going to wake up, what your various Sedarim are going to be. First you have Seder, and then you could prepare yourself for the upcoming Zman. You want to hear more, right? Okay. I thought so. Now, during the Zman, there's no time for friends. The Bochrim, they just learn 24 hours a day. They're so immersed in their learning, they don't have any friends. But during the summer, they have to think about making sure they have good friends. So how do you choose a good friend? Well, you want to associate with people who are going to bring you up, not people who are going to bring you down. So what does it mean, people who bring you up? Bring you up mean you want to associate with people who are going to push you to learn more, to push you to daven better, to push you to be more conscientious about Avodas Hashem. And you want to associate with people who are less interested in Gashmias than you are. So this way you could focus your attention on Ruchnias. So in the summer, it's a good opportunity to think about, who am I friendly with? Are these people good friends for me? Are they bringing me up? Are they putting my attention in the right place? Or, in other words, you want to associate with people who they exert pressure on you to focus more on Ruchnias and less on Gashmias. People who are more interested in learning, sometimes it's better to associate with people who are more into learning than you are. That will inspire you to learn more, to daven better. And people who are less interested in gashmius than you. This way, it will allow you to focus your attention in the right places. You want to hear more? Okay, I have 2 more. Okay, now during this man, the Bochrim, they're so busy learning. Sometimes they don't have time to focus on the mitzvah of kibbud av va'em. So make sure in the summer that you write your parents letters every single day. They say, "What's a letter? What's a letter?" No, I'm joking. No, there are no letters. They don't do letters anymore. When I was in camp, we wrote letters almost daily. But you want to make sure, at least like once in the summer, remember that there are people who, they produced you, they gave birth to you. Pick up a telephone and call them and tell them about your summer, tell them how things are going. But no, more than once a summer. You have some extra time on your hands to be mekayim the mitzvah of kibbud av va'em. A bacher once came to the Chazon Ish when he was 13 years old, and he asked the Chazon Ish, "What mitzvah should I focus on now that I'm a bar mitzvah boy?" And Chazon Ish said the mitzvah of kibbud av va'em. In fact, one time the Chazon Ish gave a farher in a class, and a bacher asked the Chazon Ish the hardest question that Chazon Ish ever was asked. He said, and the Rebbe didn't know what to do with himself. The Chazon Ish was firing questions at the boy, and one boy said, "Ooh, I have a question. So the Rebbe said, you'll ask the Chazon Ish after the farher. So the boy raised his hand after the farher. He says, "Chazon Ish, how did you become the Chazon Ish?" It's a good question. Chazon Ish thought, he said, in the kibbud av va'em. Kibbud av va'em. So during this man, as I mentioned, the Bochrim, they learn 24 hours a day. Sometimes they don't even come up to breathe. They like every other inhaling. They skip a few. But during Bein Hazmanim, they could focus on being mekayim, kibbud av va'em. And here's the last one. And after, you see, without the earlier ones, you don't really have a good foundation. So number one, you want to stay alive. Don't do anything crazy. Don't do anything dangerous. If you're not sure if you should do it, that's a good time to call your parents and say, "Should I do this?" And the answer will usually be, if you're not sure, then okay. Number 2, you want to sleep. Number 3, you want to get exercise. You want to get some sunlight. Number 4, you want to make sure you're organized. Number 5, you want to make sure you have good friends. Number 6, you want to work on your kibbud av va'em. And number 7, now this is one of the most important ones. It's also the last one. And that is, you see, during this man, did I mention the Bochrim, they learn 24 hours a day. They don't even come up to breathe. So they're always learning. So they always have to learn. But when it comes to Bein Hazmanim, there's a lot of free time. And when there's free time, then you could learn not because you have to learn, you could learn because you want to learn. And it's very important to do a little learning that you don't have to do. The Stipler says it's like a carbon nadava. The Stipler asks, why is there something called a carbon nadava? If this carbon is needed for your ruchnias, then the Torah should say you have to bring it. And if it's not needed, then what do you need it for? What's the idea of a carbon nadava? So the Stipler writes, there are things in Yiddishkeit that you don't have to do, but the Rebbeinu Shalom gives you the opportunity to do it, even though you don't have to do it, because when you do something you don't have to do, it engenders avas Hashem. And and when a person learns when they don't have to learn, so they start to feel, I love this, I enjoy this, and I'm doing it because of my deveikus HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and my real desire to come close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So a little bit of learning that you don't have to do in a certain way can elevate a person much more than learning that you have to do. So during this man, when you're learning every single second and you feel like you have to learn, so it's wonderful. It gives a person tremendous aliyah. But there's a certain element of aliyah that a person has when they learn out of their own volition. So if you have a few hours in the night, a few hours in the afternoon, and you have even an extra 5 minutes seder, that 5 minutes seder, and this is not only for Bochrim, it's for anybody. Anybody who does something above and beyond what they're absolutely required, it inspires Avas Hashem. A person feels, I don't have to do this, so obviously I'm doing this. Person becomes more in touch with the, you see, Avas Hashem is already in a person's heart. It's already programmed in the heart, the Mesilas Hashem says. You just have to access it. You have to bring it out. So when you do something extra, it brings that out. So friends, these are 7 ingredients to a successful summer. So I wish everybody who's going to camp, Bez Hashem, you should have a safe summer, you should have an enjoyable summer, and you should come back energized and recharged, and you should have Hatzlacha both in the summer and the upcoming Zman, Tzeis L'Shalom. And also, besides your parents, if you want to call your rabbi, you want to call your Rav, that's also a nice idea. He'll be very happy to receive phone calls, also letters. If you want to write letters to your Rav, that's also very nice. Now, also, if your rabbi is your father also, he'll also be very happy if you call him. So have a wonderful summer, everyone. Say Shalom.